So, like, when you're 18 and you want to go out and you want to get drunk and you want to be like promiscuous, you kind of like, it's like your parents are saying to you, like, don't do that. And the reason that they're saying that to you is that they're saying it with really good reason. And the good reason for that is because, you know, if you go out and you get drunk all the time, it's only a matter of time before that's going to have like a serious impact on your health. Or, more likely, it's only going to be a matter of time before you have an accident due to the source. So one of those two things are likely to happen. So your parents are there and they're saying, don't do that. Just don't do it. If you are, they say to you stuff like, don't get involved in drugs.
Now take the second half left.
Because because there's always, you know, there's like a world there, an absolute world. Can I turn the sat nav off, please?
No, continue to follow Marley Lane.
I know where Darriford is.
No, I need it.
Okay. And so it's like they say to you, don't get mixed up in drugs, because there's a whole world of drama there. Not necessarily the drugs themselves, but it's like the people that you're buying them off, the situations that you have to get in to buy them, the people that you have to know to be able to get into those situations in the first place, what you're going to do when you're on them, and the effects that they have on you. And you know, like, and your parents are like don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And then it's like promiscuity, same thing, you know. And your parents put in all these rules because they know that by the time that you get to your mid-20s, these are going to seem like horrible mistakes. And the reason why they're going to seem like horrible mistakes is because your parents were making them too. You know, I made them. I wish I didn't make them. And
now turn right and then turn left.
and so what's just up there? And so what's going to happen is that a person will make those mistakes. It's up that road that you need to go.
Where?
That one,
Okay.
where Connell's is, just up there.
Okay.
And so it's like you'll find that intertwined with all of this is not necessarily just somebody looking out for a kid's best interests, but the teenager, the kid, will inevitably like internalize this. And when they internalize it, what will happen is that they'll think that it's like a moral judgment, that somebody's making a moral judgment on them. And so they want somebody to be able to say, oh, it's okay to live your life like that, it's fine to live your life like that. And intertwined in with this is like a intertwined in with that idea that somebody's making a moral judgment is that teenagers, just as they're coming into the world, they need that validation. So they need an environment where they're going to feel validated, but also where they can make those bad lifestyle choices and nobody's going to tell them not to. And this, I think, this is what the function of the modern university has become. Like that teenagers who have had that restrictive upbringing where somebody is looking out for their best interests, and no, they want to get laid, they want to get hammered, they want to get off their face on God knows what, and so it's become that way. They've become that way because they want to be able to do those things. And yeah, it's horrendous. Because it's like that's what they're being sold. They're given the idea that they're being told to that you know, this is your journey of exploration. You know, nobody should criticize you for just being the best you on your journey of exploration. And it's like, do you know what? When I was 18, I couldn't tell you the people that I used to hang around with. I couldn't tell you. I don't even think I can remember the name of one friend that I had when I was 18. I remember that. So when I was 18, I ended up getting into a relationship that lasted 5 years, and I remember that girl's name. But if you asked me about all of the people that I'd gotten with in the 12 months previous to that, I don't think I could tell you one of their names. And so objectively, you know, these are mistakes. These are mistakes that you make. And people will regret them. And I'm pretty sure that anybody who's been to university has probably regretted half of the times that they've gotten drunk around the wrong person, gotten off their face around the wrong person, gotten into bed with the wrong person. And yet universities don't tell the people that are there not to do this. If anything, they actually encourage it, because they realise that them validating those life choices is the way that like validating life choices such as that is part of how they make the sale. And so it's kind of like, you know, they're not asking you to sell your soul, they're asking you to erode it to the point that by the time that you leave university, you haven't even got one left. And it's kind of like that's what gets me, especially, and it's going to be the same with my own kids, I can guarantee it, that hopefully I'm going to be able to give them the leadership and the direction that by the time that they get to that point, they're not going to be wanting to do those things. But that's what gets me about university, is that that's what university is these days. You know, it has very little to do with your studies and more to do with indulging late teens, early 20s hedonistic fantasies that people, broadly speaking, in human history have never done. It was never the case when I was growing up. People didn't behave like that when I was growing up. Well, maybe a few did, but it was a very few, and you would normally see like where the consequences of those actions led them.
After 500 yards, leave the roundabout at the 4th exit and then follow the 386 towards Tavistock.
And then it's like, so people don't necessarily, so they're not necessarily having like this, they're having those poor life choices validated, you know. And why would the university do this? Well, it's because they financially gain from it. They financially gain from somebody who wants to maintain that lifestyle for as long as possible. So it's kind of like, it's like Pinocchio, it's like Pleasure Island. It's like the kids go along to Pleasure Island and they're being given like all the beer that they could want and all the cigars that they want, and they can shoot pool, and then, but by the end of it, they turn into donkeys that get sold to the salt mine. And that's what the legacy of going to university and living that lifestyle does. And I just think it's horrendous that's what the modern university system is. It's no longer the pursuit of truth. I learnt that when I was there. It's no longer the pursuit of truth. It's basically about taking young people, bright young people who have got a lot going for them, and destroying their life chances by getting them to engage in a world that is objectively not one that they should be getting involved with.